Turn your sound up, sit back, and breathe for a moment because the story you're about to hear isn't just entertainment. It isn't gossip. It isn't celebrity drama. This is the kind of story that grabs your soul with both hands, pulls you into someone else's world, and makes you whisper, "Wow, I didn't know she went through all that." This is the story of Jennifer Hudson, a woman who sings like she's been here before, a woman whose voice feels like a memory even if you never met her, a woman whose life has been shaped by joy, pain, miracles, tragedy, and something deeper than fame, purpose. Because here's the truth. Jennifer Hudson's career has never been separate from her personal life. Her music is stitched together with the threads of everything she's lived through. Her success walks side by side with her heartbreak. Her achievements sit right next to her grief. Her voice, that's where it all lives. Every triumph, every tear, every blessing, every loss sits all there. And that is why the moment she received her Grammy nomination for The Gift of Love was so much more than another achievement. To the outside world, it looked like just another award season announcement, but to Jennifer, it was a sign from above. A moment so perfectly timed, so emotionally charged, so spiritually aligned that it felt like the universe itself was speaking softly in her ear. The day the world honored Jennifer for a project she poured her soul into was the exact day her mother came into this world. Coincidence? Some might say yes, but Jennifer doesn't believe in coincidences like that. Not after everything she's lived through. Not after everything she's survived. To her, that moment was a message, a reminder, a divine hug from the heavens, a whisper from her mother saying, "I see you. I'm proud of you. Keep going." And honestly, if you know her story, gives you chills. But before we get to the weight of that moment, let's rewind. Let's go back to the beginning, to Chicago, long before Hollywood, long before Oscar stages, long before the world knew her name. Because Jennifer Hudson wasn't born into fame. She wasn't a child star. She didn't have a famous parent, or a celebrity connection, or a golden ticket. What she did have was faith, family, a mother who believed in her like the belief itself was oxygen. A household where music wasn't entertainment, it was tradition, culture, comfort, and worship. Imagine little Jennifer, just a kid sitting in church, listening to gospel harmonies wrap around her like a warm blanket. Then imagine her standing up, barely tall enough to see the choir director opening her mouth and letting out a sound that made grown adults look at each other like, "What did we just hear?" That was Jennifer. A voice too big for a tiny frame. A gift that didn't just fill rooms, it filled hearts. Her mother saw it. She saw more than talent. She saw purpose. She saw a calling. And she made sure Jennifer knew that her voice wasn't just meant to be heard, it was meant to be used. Years later, when Jennifer walked into her auditions, whether for local shows, cruise ships, or eventually American Idol, it was that belief, that foundation, that push from her mother that walked in with her. So when the world saw her on Idol, standing there in front of Simon, Randy, and Paula, singing like she had nothing to lose, what they didn't see was everything she brought with her. Her upbringing, her faith, her mother's prayers, her family's sacrifices, her childhood, dreams. And even though she didn't win the show, she didn't need to, because Jennifer Hudson wasn't born to be a contestant. She was born to be a force, and the world felt it. Fast forward to 2024, nearly 2 decades later. Jennifer Hudson is no longer just a singer. She's a global icon, an EGOT winner, a woman who rebuilt herself after heartbreaks that would have destroyed most people. But in between all the success, she took a step back. She slowed down, stopped chasing music, and let music come to her. For years, she didn't release a full studio album. Not because she couldn't, but because she didn't want to force anything. She needed to heal. She needed to breathe. She needed to rediscover her voice from the inside out. And when she finally returned to the studio, she approached her new project differently. She didn't chase trends. She didn't chase charts. she chased truth. The Gift of Love wasn't just an album. It was a journey, a spiritual reset, a conversation between her past and her future, a love letter to everyone she had lost and everyone she still carried in her heart. She worked slowly, intentionally, delicately. She didn't want to make music that sounded good. She wanted to make music that meant something. She called it her most emotional project yet, her most personal, her most sacred. So when the Grammy nomination arrived, she was already emotional, already grateful, already overwhelmed by how much this project healed her. But the real punch came when she looked at the date, her mother's birthday. That's when the tears came. Because Jennifer Hudson is not someone who takes spiritual moments lightly. She believes in signs. She believes in presence. She believes in the unseen. If you've followed her interviews, you've heard her talk about synchronicities before little. Reminders that the people she lost are still with her in their own way. This wasn't little. This wasn't subtle. This wasn't a coincidence. This felt like love crossing from one world to another. Imagine Jennifer reading the announcement. Imagine her sitting with that news. Imagine her realizing the timing. Imagine the silence that followed, the stillness, the emotion, the gratitude, the ache, the peace. It wasn't just a nomination. It was validation. It was connection. It was closure. It was beginning. It was everything all at once. For someone who has lived through unimaginable loss, moments like this are powerful. They are grounding. They are healing. They are reminders that even when life breaks you, love doesn't leave you. And that is why this moment hits so deeply. Why fans cried with her. Why the industry paid attention. Why the story spread so quickly. Because we weren't witnessing a celebrity celebrating another award. We were witnessing a daughter receiving a message. Survivor receiving comfort. A woman receiving her mother's love in the only way the universe could deliver it. And that is where part one leaves us with the moment that changed everything. Not because of the award, not because of fame, but because of what it meant. Because sometimes the biggest blessings don't come wrapped in glitter. They come wrapped in timing, meaning, memory, love. And Jennifer Hudson felt every bit of that in the moment her phone chimed with that nomination. Where the temperature rises, the stakes climb, and the story becomes the kind of real-life roller coaster that even Hollywood wouldn't dare to script. Because while Jennifer was rising higher and higher in the spotlight, the universe was preparing to test her spirit in ways that would break most people. But as we all know, Jennifer Hudson has never been most people. Let's rewind the clock. Before the Oscar, before the hit records. Before the talk show, before the world even learned how thunderous her voice truly is, there was a girl from Chicago's South Side who believed that she was meant for something bigger. Not fame, not red carpets, but purpose. And the thing about people with purpose is this: life rarely gives it to them for free. You pay for purpose with heartbreak. You pay with sacrifice. You pay with struggle, pain, and loss. And Jennifer would learn that the hard way. But let's start with the rise. The moment when the world first heard her name. Most people remember the day Jennifer Hudson walked onto the American Idol stage. She wasn't the biggest name that season. She wasn't the industry favorite. She didn't walk in with a flashy look or a carefully manufactured persona. She simply brought that voice. A voice that felt like a storm, a prayer, and a miracle all happening at once. And just like